Hey everybody, Green Films Official here. I'm back. I hope you kept yourselves busy while I was gone. Sorry I haven't uploaded for a month. I intended to upload much earlier, but you know, I had a very busy August and there wasn't really much time for me to, but hey, I have time now. Anyways, I would like to analyze a graphic novel by Australian author slash artist Shaun, The Arrival. The Arrival is basically a huge allegory for immigration. It centers on a man who has to leave his home country and his family behind due to some gigantic creature. The thing about The Arrival is that it isn't a very literal tale, and oftentimes monsters are used to symbolize something. For example, this monster at the start of the book is used to represent an issue that is causing the main character to flee, as well as the emotions that he and his family are going through as a result of him leaving. They are also used to express the unknown and unfamiliar, but they're also used to express the better parts of exploring other cultures. When the main character first comes across his new pet, he isn't so sure how to feel about it because it's an animal that he isn't very familiar with. However, he warms up to it over time and eventually he takes it everywhere with him, symbolizing him becoming more comfortable with his new living environment. Considering this is a graphic novel about the struggles of immigration, Chapter 2 centers around the struggles that our protagonist has to go through to even make it to this unnamed fictional country. The ship he takes is very crowded, not unlike real immigration ships, and the weather is shown to be very, very harsh overseas. There are literal pages just dedicated to the weather shifts during the journey to the country. And once the protagonist finally gets off of the boat, he finds that things don't get much easier. Everything about this country's culture is different from the home country of the protagonist. The food, the language, the buildings, even the animals are different from what the main character is used to. He struggles to find his way around the city even with the help of a map. He ultimately resorts to asking random people he sees on the street for directions and ends up befriending a lot of people because of this, including an entire family. He befriends a lot of fellow immigrants and shares his experiences with them, and they in turn share their experiences with him. There is a big emphasis on side characters, and we get a lot of their backstories. This Asian girl he comes across flees her country to escape from slave labor. This character fled his country to escape from these giant, terrifying humanoids in hazmat suits sucking people up in vacuums who represent, like, this dictatorial government. This old man fought in a war and saw the horrors of human death in battle firsthand. I could go on and on, but I'm sure you get the idea that a lot of characters that are important to the main character get a lot of development, and their stories prove to him that he isn't alone. I also love how the color yellow is used in this. For scenes that are really depressing, there are these really strong grays and blacks, as you would expect. But then, like, when things are happy and bright, especially at the ending, you see, like, yellow come in, and it makes the scenes feel so warm and like they're baked in sunlight or something. It's great. One scene in particular that I think makes great use of both the yellow and the gray, the war flashback. Like before the war starts, yellow is enveloping the scene because, in World War One, the soldiers thought they were going on some grand adventure, and then reality kicked in, and it's basically the same here. Like everything is bright and happy and yellow, and then once the actual war begins, the color almost fades completely. I also really like the fake culture that Shaun made specifically for this graphic novel. I think by having the city be this fantastical outlook of the world with these fake creatures, fake food, and fake language, I think that helps any reader of any ethnicity feel as though they're in the main character's shoes, because it's not like the same as real life. And this, what especially helps with this is that when the brief point in the book where we are in the main character's home country, that is more based in reality outside of the giant shadow monster. The ending is great. Right at the end, he's like finally learned all the ins and outs and essentials of this culture, and he plays this fictional game with, like fellow civilians. I mentioned it before, but the use of yellow in this scene is outstanding. It really creates this warm, content feeling that finally he fully understands his new home. He's become another one of its citizens, and he blends in perfectly with everyone else playing the game. After that, he's shown missing his family as, any human being would if they haven't been with them for a very long time. A full on year passes without them, and, things start to seem bleak after a while. One day, however, he sees this hot air balloon in the sky, similar to the one he arrived in, and thinking he might know who it is, he rushes outside to see. And yeah, you guessed it, it's his family. Later, we see, like months later, the family has eased into the country's culture and it's now become their new norm. You gotta love how this panel is basically just the exact opposite of an earlier panel in the graphic novel, in both tone and color. We are then later shown that the little girl of the family in particular has become so familiar with the country that she is helping new immigrants out. For me, this ending is perfect for the story that Shaun wanted to tell. It shows to immigrants that while adjusting to a new culture and new norms can be difficult, and that your new home may be very different from your old home, if you immerse yourself into this new culture and fully embrace it, you can make something beautiful out of it. The Arrival has everything. It has the struggles, the journey, the unfamiliar, but it also has, a positive, warm message that can resonate with any immigrant and just any person, honestly. Yeah, that's The Arrival by Shaun, one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, bell notifications, comment please. And yeah, just make the algorithm happy, please. That would be appreciated. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video, which is going to be another analysis, so get excited for that. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.